hopping on because probably, it might have been 3 weeks ago now. It's definitely at least 2 weeks ago. I had made a post about protein shakes. And it was something I had gotten away from. Not something that I was doing, consistently by any means. If you do end up hopping on, say hi, let me know. I always love to know that I'm not talking to myself, but I will talk to myself. But anyway, so it was something I had gotten away from. I wasn't necessarily seeing the benefits, and for multiple reasons, just wasn't something that I was including in my daily regimen. And then a new shake came out, and I was real. I'll be honest, like when the announcement was that that was going to be the new product, I was a little disappointed. I was like, I was hoping for something else. But I did my research just like I have with pretty much anything I do these days. Now that I know what I know, not going to take something without doing research. But what I didn't realize was the number of protein shakes out on the market these days. So a lot of people had commented what they were taking, and I was blown away by the number that were out there. And I was like, oh my goodness, I need to know more. I need to learn more. Like I didn't even realize. So then I was like, am I taking one that's like the best it could be for me? Like, should I be doing something else? When you realize that you yourself haven't done all the research that you're supposed to or that you should have, I was like, woof. So I did the research, okay, and you're gonna see me kind of look over to the left here because I pulled it up. So I created this comparison chart because I wanted to know what these all were and how do they differ and what is different about them. So I thought I'd come on and share just like the biggest takeaways of what I found in my research. So the first thing I found was calorie count. So why would it matter if your protein shake is higher or lower calories? And the first thing is, if you are specifically using the shake for weight loss or for weight management, having that lower calorie count in the beginning will allow you to add or utilize different liquids without exceeding, a certain level of calories as a meal itself. So that's really the only thing that, from my perspective, of the calorie count. Like if you're gonna add oat milk or just raw milk or any type of milk, if you're going to add bananas or peanut butter, or you're going to add other fruits, knowing what that initial calorie count is and what you're adding to it is important. So kind of looking at that, and that was actually because that was the first thing I looked at. That's how my chart is organized, is by calorie count. So who had what was the calorie count first, and then all the way through. So calorie count was one of the things. Then the next thing I found was protein count. So protein count, the amount, really was the lowest I saw was 10, the highest was 21, and then there was a big range in between. But the sourcing of the protein varied greatly. So I divided the chart into vegan options and animal-based. The most common animal-based protein count was whey, which comes from cows. And then the vegan options really varied. Pea, brown rice, soy, a mixture, pea, flax, quinoa, chia, pumpkin seed. So really a wide variety of protein sourcing, which is important too, because I know some people have certain allergies to certain grains. And so knowing where the source, what the source is also going to help you to determine what's going to work best for you. So that was something that stood out. Another thing that stood out was the carb count, and not just the carb count itself. So carbs in and of themselves, value really varied. But what I distinctly would look at when I'm looking at a shake that I'm going to be using for nutritional reasons is how much of the carbohydrates are coming from fiber versus sugar. So the majority of your carbs should come from fiber, which is going to help with the gut health, and it's more nutritional. It's not empty carbs. Things it's a slow act, so you just want to, fiber is key, okay? If the sugar count exceeds the fiber count, or you see that it says on the label added sugar in any form, that's kind of that for me personally. That's a red flag. I'm going to avoid. I avoid added sugars, and I don't want my carb source to be sugar based. Okay, those aren't nutritionally. It's not going to do anything for you. Also looking at the amount of vitamins and minerals. So knowing whether or not it's giving you additional nutrition other than just protein is really important. And when you're looking at those vitamins and minerals, again, look at sourcing. Are the vitamins food plant-based? Are they synthetic? Are the minerals chelated? That is now that I know what chelated minerals are, I that is the only form of minerals I'm going to take, because it has been scientifically research based to show that your body is going to use those minerals significantly better and more readily than a non-chelated mineral. So that's basically like your body's going to know what to do with it. So I'm not going to put minerals in my body that my body doesn't know what to do, because you're pretty much just paying for expensive pee at that point. So knowing the sourcing of the vitamins and minerals, the format of the minerals, and also how much of the minerals are in there. One of the things that can be a little deceiving, so make sure you're looking at this too, is the value. So is it micrograms? Is it milligrams? Is it grams? You could see vitamin values, but if it's all micrograms, that's really, really, really small amounts. So looking at that and being able to understand the conversion of that is also going to be really important. Additional benefits. So protein in and of itself is a difficult thing for many people to digest. So having some type of proteolytic enzyme to help in the breaking down of the protein, whether it's found within the shake or you take that in addition, is just going to ensure that at a high protein content level in one dosing, you're actually getting your body's breaking it down into the amino acids that it then wants to use to help to repair, rebuild, and do all the other things. If you know that, like, when you eat steak or you eat chicken or you eat high protein content foods, and if you ever feel funny, and I'm saying funny because it can be a whole host of things. It could be sluggish. It could be constipated. It could be a whole host of things. If you feel that way after protein, then your body is having difficulty in breaking down that protein. And so it's going to be very important that you do something to assist in the digestion to actually get the nutritional value of it. Okay, so knowing that that's mixed in there. I'd also look for like a fruit and vegetable, or like a superfood, or greens, something that's going to help give additional, like green. I say that because I've watched people do a protein shake and then dump, a scoop of greens in, and then dump a scoop of antioxidant blend, and you're combining multiple things. So the more bang for your buck that you can get if you've got a greens blend or a fruit and vegetable blend or something like that in there, that's going to help to support the nutritional value of it. Awesome. Like, I think that's just a bonus. And then yeah, so those are all like the good things that I saw, and I was really impressed by a lot. There was really just a lot out there, and it was very enlightening. Some red flags or things that I would avoid that I also saw. So if you can't find the nutritional label on the website, like, that's a red flag in itself. If you've really got to dig just to be able to see what's in it, for me, that's just concerning. That's a personal preference. Like, if I can't find the nutritional label, I don't feel so great about that. Anything that says artificial, if it says artificial flavoring, artificial dyes, artificial anything, I'm going to avoid it. I'm definitely going natural. I do understand that sometimes when it says natural, you still got to dig a little bit to figure out what that means. But I feel much better about natural flavoring than I do artificial. So that's just a personal preference as well. Maltodextrin is something I avoid. It's just a highly processed ingredient used as like a filler, just not something I prefer not to include in that which I put in my body. The use of palmitate, that has actually been found to be detrimental and can be carcinogenic to our bodies. So any type of palmitate, I do not personally prefer. And then with the animal-based options, one thing that came up a few times, and so I had to look it up because I didn't know what it was, is acesulfame potassium additive. So that's something it's an additive to help enhance the flavor when utilizing whey as the main protein source for the shake, there have been, some questionable studies on it. It's something that's approved and okay within the United States, but not approved elsewhere. So something again that if it's been banned somewhere else, I'm going to avoid it personally. So that was really the biggest things. Oh, the use of sucralose. So sucralose is like, I want to say, I have to look it up again. It's at least 60 times. I think it's 600 times, but it's at least 60 times. I'm gonna go with the lower value so I don't over exaggerate. But sweeter than sugar, and because of that, that's what gives it that pleasing flavor. But it's also really bad for you. Like if you're avoiding sugars in the first place, but it's got sucralose in it, it's a highly processed type form of sugar to add sweetener to it. So again, not something that I would personally choose if I saw that on the ingredient label. Last thing I would recommend is that if you are looking at the ingredient label, to know the how natural it is, or that it's less processed than other options, is the other ingredients should really be at five or less. If it has more than 5 additional other ingredients, so this is a different product, but like here, that other ingredients, that's the section I actually look at before I even look at the nutritional value. Because if it in that other ingredients is long list of them, it's an automatic something I am more unlikely to look at. So taking a look at that other ingredient section is also really important. So I hope that this is helpful. If you found it helpful, if you'd like the protein comparison chart, let me know. Drop chart in the comments. I'd be happy to share that with you. And I hope that everyone is enjoying the snow, or if you're not enjoying snow, you're at least enjoying sunshine, because we've got sunshine and snow. So that's been great for this Friday. So happy Friday.